your presentation that Gawad Kalinga provides land, homes, and food. But in this, what's this example, Taguig, there's no space for agriculture or urban agriculture or food land raising. Wala, ano? So how do you compensate for that absence of element?
Definitely we don't attempt to plant in the city. But that program, that entire food program, is under what the program we call productivity, wherein the reason why people go hungry or go out of jobs, one of the major reasons is the lack of motivation to actually engage society in meaningful activity for a number of reasons. But the general idea is what GK wants to do is trigger productivity. So in the provinces, you'll be surprised. We city dwellers usually think that people plant in the provinces. But what we found out really is that in the province, people don't want to plant anymore. They have abandoned planting altogether. And so what we thought was so natural for them to plant when you're hungry wasn't so natural at all. The study came out, you know what they do? It's cheaper to buy in the karinderya. That's what the study found out. That's why they don't plant. Mas mura pa nga namang bumili ng ulam kaysa magtanim ng gulay. But what we missed out there is the sustainability component. And so we began introducing what we call the Bayan Anihan farms. And that has generated a lot of great results in the communities that we have put in those farms. Ang galing ng response sa mga tao, sabi nila, pwede pa lang hindi kami magutom kung magtatanim kami. And they've been harvesting, the reports have been coming in like 10 kilos of vegetables every month in their community, per family. Every month. So that has been the key. In urban communities, we try to put up social enterprises. We try and engage, kunyari dati na yung School of Management is partnered with Gawad Kalinga, and they said, well, we can build homes, but we can build better businesses. So that's what they're doing now. They're figuring out how to build enterprises, link them to employment. So we're generating the local economy in these communities, but we're not attempting to plant here. So that's the component. So
dun sa in terms of inculcating values to these people, to these communities, dun po sa mga naitayo na yung community sa rural or sa probinsya, nagbabayad po ba sila ng taxes, real property tax?
Sa ngayon po hindi pa sila, they don't pay.
Sa Taguig po hindi din po sila nagbabayad kasi they don't own the land.
Not yet, there's.
But it's a usufruct, I think. It's the, so which means it's perpetual lease. Sa bumababa po ang ano ng cost ng pag-acquire ng bahay kasi hindi naka-impute yung lahat ng cost.
Thank you, ma'am. For our last question, si Sir po. Pero gusto ko lang sabihin na wag po sana tayong muna umalis kaagad after this last question and the response kasi we will have a group picture taking. I hope that's okay. Thank you. Yes, sir.
My name is Terry Garcia, retired private citizen. I would like to commend Gawad Kalinga for working in units of 100 families, because it's the only way to build communities, and this could be pilot projects for others to emulate. The only way you can effectively assess the total needs of the people and satisfy the requirements of total participation of every family, leaving nobody behind, for effective communication and building relationships with your neighbors. Now, my question is, of course, Gawad Kalinga is work in progress. But what are the indications for progress in the matter of alleviation of poverty, hunger, jobs? Obviously, housing is A+. Education. In all this, in the United States, there was a survey, a house-to-house survey, just to find out how many have not finished high school. And they found a lot of them who could be part of a program to qualify them for high school education and thereby have better jobs. Now, what are the indications for progress that you can mention?
Well, in terms of formal indicators as a foundation, you're right. We're work in progress. We're just wrapping up our first phase, and we're actually in the process of figuring out how to develop our own metrics of measuring our success. But rudimentarily, what we look at is, number one, the framework is very simple. Land for the landless, homes for the homeless, food for the hungry. So these are three key resort areas that we look into. How much land has been really donated for the poor, free of cost? Because we've been looking at it, and it's the first time that massively free land for the poor is being given out on a massive scale, not on a one-on-one basis, but really massively all over the country. So in terms of land acquisition, that's one measure that we look into. Number two is, of course, the number of houses and how it's maintained. And number three, just recently, hunger. But more than anything else, I think underneath it all, one measure that GK really looks for is the empowerment of the poor and the sense of dignity restoration. Now, that's very difficult to measure, but it's very evident when you're in the community. Just like the story of Mayor Baby, when one child who was before underperforming in school is suddenly now top 1 and performing and is a student leader, that for us is an indicator. But all of these indicators are mostly anecdotal at this time. That's why we were pushed to actually put up an institute to begin measuring these things and actually coming up with real measures so that we could actually begin talking about it on a more, in a way, objective basis. So yes, it's work in progress, and the formal measures are not there. Most of it are really anecdotal.
Short, sir. Thank you.
Just in the matter of education of underperforming children, there's so much to do with mentoring, even 2 hours a week for mentoring students of underperforming. This can be done.
We're already starting that, like the ones we're doing in Nueva Ecija. And in all villages, we have to start with a C-ball school for the children.
Okay, and I think that's a very nice way to end this session about GK, because we see that as a starting and ending point to all that GK is doing in their goal to transform poverty is that they do have measurables: land for the landless, homes for the homeless, and to alleviate hunger or to address the hunger problem. But at the same time, the immeasurables, but which are not less important, in fact, they may be important in so many communities, that is to help them gain their dignity back, to give them opportunities to be empowered and to be able to build their lives and have it sustained, not just for 1 or 2 years, but for the many years to come in their lives as they live in their homes and as they live with their families. And that, I think, is the gift of GK, the transformation of poverty, not just at the measurable level, but also at the very quality level in which we see that the lives of people are transformed. So let's thank Mayor Baby and Lawrence for this afternoon. And of course, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Just one request before you go, if we can just all come forward here so that we can have a picture taking. This is to help us document the APS Congress, and in order for us to do whatever we need to do in the future in relation to this. Thank you. Lapit lang po tayo dito lahat.
Hi, Lawrence. Good to see you again. Sana naisama ko yung kapatid kong Vice Mayor. Kapita ng Baguio.
And siguro po pahabol lang, if you want more information about the GKBI, you can find them in the Ateneo campus in Katipunan. I'm sure they'll be very open to answering questions. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
I think medyo compressed lang po ng konti, tsaka kung yung iba kung pwedeng dito sa may harap. Compress lang pong konti, and then if some of you can please move to the front.